In a distant land, among dense forests and quiet rivers, there lay an ancient book. It contained magical stories, and one of them was about a kind young man named Finist, the Bright Falcon. Far away, in a quiet little village, lived a father with his 3 daughters. They sat together at the table, talking softly and dreaming of the days to come. The father loved them dearly and always wished to bring them gifts from the market. One morning, the father said to his daughters, "Well, my dear girls, tomorrow I'm going to the market. Tell me, what shall I bring you?" The eldest smiled. "Bring me a silk dress, the most beautiful one you can find." The middle one said, "And for me, a sparkling necklace to shine in the sunlight." The youngest spoke softly, "I only want a feather from Finist the Bright Falcon, the one that finds its way into my hands." The father was surprised, but nodded, for he always tried to grant his daughter's wishes. For 3 days, the father wandered around the market. On the first day, he found a silk dress for his eldest daughter. On the second day, a sparkling necklace for the middle one, but the feather of Finist, the Bright Falcon, he couldn't find anywhere. And on the third day, he saw a single shiny feather on the counter of an old merchant. The father bought it and, meeting the girls at the market, handed it to the youngest. "Here, my dear, is your feather," he said warmly. "Thank you, father. It's so beautiful," she whispered, holding it tenderly. And then the feather began to glow softly, as if it contained real magic. That evening, the youngest sister sat at the table, a candle burning softly in front of her. She twirled a golden feather in her hands, the light playing on its thin edges. Behind her, the 2 older sisters watched silently. "Look at her, how she admires this feather," the eldest whispered. "Yes, as if it were something special," the middle one answered. "After all, father brought such a gift only for her." There was envy in the voice of the eldest, but the youngest, lost in her thoughts, furtively turned to look at her sisters and continued to look at the feather as if she saw a whole magical world inside. Every night the golden feather began to glow, turning into the beautiful Finist, the Bright Falcon. He sat down next to the girl and they quietly talked about everything. About the stars, about distant lands, and about the wonders that she had not yet seen. From the shadows, the 2 older sisters watched. They saw how the feather turned into a winged falcon, and their hearts filled with envy. "Why does this happen only to her?" whispered the eldest. "I don't know, but it's not fair," answered the middle one. The girl only laughed and listened to Finist's stories, not suspecting that someone wanted to take away her joy. One night, while the youngest sister slept soundly, the older sisters crept to her window. Hiding their envy behind cruel smiles, they fixed sharp knives along the sill. "Let him try to come now," the eldest whispered. The middle one nodded, and darkness wrapped the room once more. That same night, in the silence of the night, Finist, the Bright Falcon, emerged from the darkness. He flew to the window, but sharp knives pierced his wing. The bird screamed, flailing in the air from pain. The younger sister woke up in horror. "Finist, what happened to you?" "If you love me, find me in the middle of nowhere," he whispered and disappeared into the night. In the shadows, the older sister smiled silently. The next morning, the youngest sister packed a small bundle of bread and set off on her journey. She walked without looking back, her heart set on finding Finist beyond the farthest lands. The older sister stood at the porch, silently watching her go. The girl walked all day, across fields and through forests, until the sun sank below the horizon. Night wrapped the land in darkness, and stars sparkled above. Then, in the silver moonlight, she saw a hut, the home of Baba Yaga. "Hello, Granny," the girl said softly. "I'm looking for Finist the Bright Falcon." Baba Yaga squinted at her. "I know where you must go. but the road will be long and hard. She handed the girl a golden ball of yarn. Follow where it rolls, and it will lead you to Finist's castle. The girl thanked her, pressed the ball to her heart, and stepped out into the night. The girl walked through the dark forest, step by step. The moon lit her path, but soon its glow was replaced by the soft golden light of dawn. The forest filled with birdsong. In a sunlit clearing stood the sun goddess, crowned with shining rays. "Are you searching for Finist the Bright Falcon?" she asked. "Yes," the girl nodded. "Take this golden comb. When the time comes, it will help you," the goddess said, offering the gift. The girl thanked her, tucked the comb close to her heart, and went on her way. The girl walked on, farther and farther, as the sun began to set once more. The forest grew quiet, and soon the sky was blanketed with stars. Among the trees, a small house appeared. Inside, by the flicker of a warm fire, sat the second enchantress. "Are you searching for Finist the Bright Falcon?" she asked. "Yes, I am," the girl replied. "Take this golden spindle. It will bring you good fortune," the enchantress said, handing her the gift. The girl thanked her and set off once again. The girl walked through the dark forest, and her path was far from easy. Branches tugged at her dress, roots caught her steps, and the night wind whispered in the treetops. But she did not stop. At last, a faint light appeared in the distance. She came to a small house and knocked on the door. The third enchantress opened it. "You must be searching for Finist the Bright Falcon?" she asked. "Yes, I am," the girl nodded. "Here is a golden kerchief. It will help you in your time of need," the enchantress said, offering the gift. The girl thanked her and went on her way. The girl was walking through the night forest, and her path was difficult. The cold chilled to the bone, and the darkness hid the path. But the first rays of dawn touched the foliage, and everything was filled with a soft golden light. The golden ball shone and rolled forward, pointing the way. Soon, through the morning mist, the beautiful castle Finist, the clear falcon, appeared in the distance. Seeing the castle, the girl clutched the golden ball of thread and ran as fast as her legs could carry her. Her heart pounded with joy and hope. Suddenly, the ball slipped from her hands and rolled down the stone path, straight toward the tall castle gates. Without a moment's pause, she chased after it, afraid to lose her one last chance to find Finist. The girl entered the majestic hall and stopped in front of the queen, who was sitting on the throne. Trembling, she took out a golden comb, a spindle, and a handkerchief. "Take all this," she said softly. "Just let me see Finist for a moment." The queen smiled as she accepted the gifts and looked thoughtfully at her guest, but nevertheless allowed her to see him. The girl sat quietly at the edge of the bed, gazing at the sleeping Finist. His face was calm, his breathing steady, as if trapped in an unbreakable slumber. She gently touched his and whispered, "I came. I found you. Please, wake up." But the spell was stronger, and the prince did not stir. All night, the girl sat on his bed, holding Finist's hand and never closing her eyes. With the first rays of sunlight, the dark spell faded, and he slowly opened his eyes. Seeing her, Finist smiled and softly said, "I've been waiting for you. I knew you would find me." They sat together, gazing into each other's eyes and holding hands, forgetting everything else in the world. The prince and his beloved walked hand in hand through the joyful crowd. People smiled and greeted them, scattering flowers at their feet. Their hearts were filled with happiness. Thus, true love had overcome all obstacles, and before them lay long years of warmth and joy.